All right, let's jump right in. Imagine you've got a new teammate, but this one works 24/7, can sift through mountains of data in a heartbeat, and can actually start fixing problems before you even know they exist. This isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. It's the reality of agentic AI. It's a brand new flavor of artificial intelligence that's set to completely change the game for how we solve complex IT problems. So in this explainer, we're going to break down what it is, how it actually works, and why it's becoming the new superstar of incident management.
You know, this quote right here really nails the massive shift we're talking about. For decades, IT support has been this reactive, costly function. You know the drill. Something breaks, a ticket gets filed, a human hero has to go investigate. Agentic AI promises to just flip that entire model on its head. We're talking about a future where our systems are managed by smart, autonomous agents that don't just fix things, they actually learn and get better over time.
So what makes agentic AI so different? It's a great question, and we need to be clear here. On the one hand, you have your traditional automation. Think of it like a macro or a very rigid script. It follows a set path, and if anything unexpected happens, it just breaks. Then you've got generative AI, which you've probably played with. It's amazing at creating text or images, a fantastic content creator, but it can't act on its own. Now, agentic AI. This is the big leap forward. It's an autonomous actor. It doesn't just talk about things. It perceives its environment. It makes complex multi-step plans, and it actually executes actions to get a job done. It can do things. Okay, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll talk about why we need these digital teammates more than ever. Then we'll get into their secret sauce, a superpower called tool calling. After that, we'll look at how you actually build a whole AI workforce. We'll see how they're already making a huge difference in the real world, cover the super important rules for using them safely, and finally, we'll gaze into the crystal ball and see the autonomous future they're creating. So, first up, why this sudden urgency? Why do we need these digital teammates right now? Well, the answer really comes down to the insane scale of modern technology. Just try to wrap your head around this number. Every single day, a typical large company generates somewhere between 5 and 10 terabytes of data. We're talking logs, metrics, traces, all coming from hundreds, if not thousands, of different systems. It is physically impossible for a human team to wade through that data tsunami to find the one tiny clue when something goes wrong. The old manual way of doing things, it's officially broken. And this is exactly where agentic AI steps in to save the day. What makes it agentic is its ability to work on its own to hit a specific goal. It does this by first perceiving its environment, basically drinking from that fire hose of data. Then it makes a plan, and here's the key part, it acts on that plan using external tools. That ability to take action is what turns it from a smart machine into a true digital team. This brings us to the really cool part, the core mechanism that gives these agents all their power. It's a capability called tool calling, and it's basically the bridge that connects the AI's brain to the real world of your company's systems. You're probably wondering, okay, wait, how does a language model, which is just good with words, actually run a script or call a system API, right? Does it just write code and run it? Well, the real process is a little more structured and, frankly, a lot safer than that. It's really this elegant little dance that happens in 5 steps. First, a developer gives the AI a menu of approved tools it can use. When a problem comes in, the AI looks at its menu and picks the best tool for the job. Now, here's the crucial part. The AI doesn't run the tool itself. Instead, it just fills out a structured request. Think of it like filling out an order form. That order form gets sent to your own secure application, which then runs the function. The results are sent back to the AI, which uses that new info to decide what to do next. It's a really smart and secure feedback loop. And here's a pro tip for anyone building these things. Think small. It is so much better and so much more reliable to build a whole bunch of simple, single-purpose tools, like one to get logs, another to restart a server, than it is to build one giant super tool that tries to do everything. It's kind of like a microservices approach, but for your AI. It just makes the whole system more robust and easier for the AI to understand. Okay, so we've seen how a single action works, but how do you scale this up from one tool call to an entire reliable AI workforce? Well, it turns out there are a few key blueprints for that.
You can start simple with what's called a deterministic chain. It's just a fixed sequence of steps, good for basic repetitive tasks. A step up is the single agent system, where one agent gets to pick and choose from its tool menu, which gives it more flexibility. But for the really messy, complex problems that span different teams, the multi-agent system is where the magic happens. You have a main orchestrator agent that acts like a manager. It breaks a big problem down into smaller pieces and hands them off to specialized worker agents. It's literally like building a digital team.
Now, I want to be clear. This isn't just theory on a slide. These systems are already out there in the wild, being used by some of the biggest companies you can think of. And the results are pretty amazing. I mean, you've got companies like Netflix, Etsy, and Airbnb already using Agentic AI to handle their incidents. They're using these agents to automatically investigate alerts, take the pressure off their human engineers, and basically make troubleshooting something that anyone in the organization can participate in. And the impact on the business? It is just staggering. We're not talking about small improvements here. Imagine cutting the time it takes to fix a problem by up to 65%. Or getting rid of 80% of those routine, low-level support tickets, freeing up your experts to solve real problems. Or cutting out 95% of your alert noise so you only see what truly matters. This isn't just a small step forward. It's a giant leap in how you run your operations. Okay, but with great power comes great responsibility, right? Giving an AI the keys to your kingdom, so to speak, is a big deal. So we absolutely have to talk about the rules of engagement, security, and governance.
When you put these agents into the real world, you run into new and interesting ways for things to go wrong. The number one cause of failure, at a whopping 42%, is something called a hallucinated API call. That's when the AI basically makes up a command that sounds right but doesn't actually exist. This just shows how critical it is to have really strong controls.
So how do you protect yourself? Well, the trick isn't to trust the AI model itself. It's to build a fortress of guardrails around it. This means you need a central, secure place for all your passwords and keys. You give the AI a specific role with very limited permissions. You have to check every single thing that goes into and comes out of the agent to stop potential attacks. And finally, you need a perfect, detailed audit trail of every single action the agent takes, so you always know exactly what your digital teammate did and why.
And this leads to a really crucial mindset shift. We need to stop thinking of human in the loop as a weakness or a temporary crutch. It's not a bug, it's a core feature of any responsible, intelligent system. It's what gives you the best of both worlds, the incredible speed of the machine combined with the wisdom and judgment of a human, especially when the stakes are high. It's what makes the whole system smarter. So, with all that said, where is this all going? What's next? Well, the path forward is pointing very clearly towards a future of much more autonomous operations. And this is all happening incredibly fast. While a lot of companies are just now starting their first pilot projects, the technology is moving so quickly that by 2025, it's projected that over 60% of new AI deployments will have these agentic capabilities built right in. And by 2027, we're expecting to see widespread adoption across entire industries. So this isn't some distant 10-year-out future. This is happening right now. So if you take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Success with agentic AI isn't about replacing people. It's about augmenting them. It's all about finding that perfect, delicate balance between the powerful, autonomous speed of the machine and the thoughtful, strategic oversight of a human. That combination is the true key to unlocking systems that are not just efficient, but truly resilient. And that leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. We've spent this time talking about IT incidents, but what happens when this technology goes beyond that? What happens when the finance department has a digital teammate? And marketing? And logistics? What does the world look like when every single part of a business has its own dedicated, autonomous agent working alongside the human team? That's the future we're stepping into, one agent at a time.